Hello everyone, course 5 again, IELTS. Okay, now we have chapter 18 of Oliver Twist. So, lesson 1 of chapter 18. Let's go there. I'm going to read the text once and you follow me. Let's start. 1, 2, 3, course 5, lesson 52. Oliver Twist. Chapter 18 Fagin's Plan. On the very same night that Nancy met with Rose Maylie, two people advanced toward London. They were none other than Noah Claypole and Charlotte, the Sowerberry's maid. The two of them were in a great hurry, for they had with them £20 that they had stolen from Mr. Sowerberry. Charlotte was carrying the money. She thought it was because Noah trusted her with it. But it was not young Noah Claypole's habit to trust anybody. He had a quite different reason for insisting that Charlotte carry the money. If they were caught, the money would be found on her. Then he could loudly claim his innocence of any theft, and the police would have to let him go. Of course, he didn't tell Charlotte any of this. When the two arrived in London, they stopped at a public house. By chance, it was the very tavern where Fagin often went. Noah and Charlotte sat in a back room just behind the bar. On the dark wall behind and above their table was a pane of glass hidden by a small curtain. This made it easy for the owner of the bar to observe anyone sitting at that table. Also, by putting his ear up against the thin wall, he could hear what was being said. As Charlotte and Noah were eating, Fagin came into the bar on business. "Hush," said the bartender to Fagin. "Strangers in the next room." Fagin carefully opened the curtain a little and pressed his ear to the wall. Noah was saying, taking £20 from Mr. Sowerberry was all right, but there is more than that to be got in this world, especially here in London. There's plenty of pockets to pick and rich women's purses to snatch. There's mail coaches and banks to rob. I'd like to get in with a gang of proper-looking men. That would suit me if there was good profit. Oh, Charlotte, if we could only come upon some gentlemen of this sort. It might cost us that £20 note you've got, but it would be worth it. After Noah said this, he looked up and saw a stranger coming toward him. The stranger was Fagin. Noah was startled when the old man told him he had overheard what he'd just been saying. "I only heard you by chance, my dear," Fagin said. "You are very lucky. It was only me." Within minutes, Noah agreed to be in Fagin's gang, and the £20 were in Fagin's pocket. A few days later, Fagin had a job for Noah. He wanted Noah to follow Nancy and report back to him about where she went. Lately, Fagin had noticed that Nancy had been acting strangely. For example, on Sunday night, just before 11, she had put on her bonnet to go out. "Where are you going?" barked Bill Sykes. "I don't know where," cried the girl. Then I do, said Sykes. Nowhere. Sit down. I just want a breath of air, said Nancy. Put your head out of the window, said Sykes. There's not enough there, said the girl. I want the air in the street. Tell him to let me go, Fagin. For only 1 hour. Belle Sykes pulled Nancy's bonnet from her head and pushed her into a chair. He held her down by force. Fagin did nothing to help her. Nancy struggled and begged until it was past midnight. Then, tired and worn out, she gave up the fight. Bill told her not to make any more efforts to go out that night and left her to recover. Then Bill rejoined Fagin. What do you suppose got into her? Asked Sykes. I thought I had tamed her by now. I never saw her like this, said Fagin. To himself, Fagin guessed that Nancy had grown tired of Bill Sykes. Perhaps she had found someone new, but he was too clever to tell Sykes what he had been thinking. Perhaps, thought Fagin, Nancy could be talked into poisoning Sykes. Then Nancy would be free of him, and Fagin would be rid of him too. This would be good for Fagin. After all these years, Sykes knew too much about Fagin's business. And since Fagin would know of Nancy's crime, he would have more power over the girl than ever. Fagin liked the idea, but first he had to find out the identity of Nancy's new friend. Then he could threaten the girl that he would tell Sykes that she had found someone new. Nancy would be afraid that Sykes would hurt the other man. That would make it easier to persuade her to poison Sykes. To protect herself and her new friend. In Fagin's eyes, the plan was perfect. The next day, Fagin met with Noah Claypole, the newest member of his gang. I want you to follow Nancy, Fagin told Noah. She's found some new friends, and I must know who they are. See where she goes and who she meets. Report everything you see to me alone. For 6 days and nights, Nancy went nowhere. Finally, on the seventh night, the door opened just before 11 o'clock. Noah saw Nancy come out. He followed her as closely as seemed safe. Now I want you to read it in Arabic. 1, 2, 3, let's start. Thanks a lot for today.